Hello book lovers, welcome to Uncommon Reader. My name is Daniela and welcome to this very special Tag Tuesday because I'm sharing a brand new book tag I created in collaboration with Reney of Beyond Books. It's also the anniversary of our first year here on BookTube, so congratulations Reney, and I wish you many more to come. For the book tag, we thought about doing something seasonal, and with Christmas approaching, we created the Christmas song tag. So this tag is based on songs, carols, and hymns that celebrate the Christmas season, but you don't need to be familiar with the songs to do the tag. There are 8 prompts, and let's dive in the Christmas spirits with the first song, Joy to the World. And we are looking for a book that brings you so much joy you wish the whole world would read it. So my thought bring me back to my precious The Uncommon Reader by Alan Bennett, and this is also the book that inspired my channel name. I've been mentioning this book before, but I have to respond with this book because it really is a little jewel, a short novel, a very funny and endearing version of Queen Elizabeth II, discovering reading in late life and how this transforms even her royal duties. It's very sweet and funny, and I think I also relate a lot to this book because I also had this experience with reading myself, although I've read all my life, but not with the intensity and passion that I read nowadays, and this happened during the pandemic. So I feel this novel could shake even the one that has the reading block. So give this novel a try. It's a short, sweet story that you won't be disappointed with. The second prompt, let us know a book that takes place in a snowy, cold environment. And my mind goes back to noir, mystery thriller book, also a short novel by my adored Emmanuel Carrère. Carrère mostly writes about current events or biographies, and also a lot of autobiographical content. But with this short novel, it delivers us a very suspenseful story, and the protagonist is a young kid who's quite the introvert and with some social inability to relate to his classmates. This is due because of the pressure his parents put on him. His parents are quite controlling, and the atmosphere at home, it's always very tense. He's about to go on a trip with his classmates on a ski trip for a week, but his parents are reluctant to have him participate in the vacation. But when they give in to the idea, they also are reluctant for him to go on this location where they're going to be staying with the school bus because of a recent accident. Not this particular bus had, but in the region there was some accident, so they were very protective, and his dad decides to drive his son to the location. But things starts to get complicated right away because this little boy realizes that he forgot his backpack with all his belongings into his dad's car. And so he's immediately uncomfortable and he gets nervous because he doesn't know if his dad will realize that and will bring his belongings back to him so he could enjoy the vacation. So he's really torn in between, also maybe being bullied by the classmates for his clumsiness of forgetting the backpack. So the tension starts building, and then he will go through some panic attack during the night, and in the morning after he gets sick, and then another child goes missing in the village. So the book starts to get into this very mysterious atmosphere of things developing in a very eerie way. And the ending will be a very shocking one. And it's just brilliant how Karev is moving through these events and take you to places that you wouldn't even expect. I love this writer so much. So maybe if you like mystery books, you might want to give this book a try. Our third prompt is, you're a mean Mr. Grinch. And we're asking you to choose a book with a mean character or one that you just didn't like. Popular opinion, yes, I'm not a fan of this character who's been so popular and loved by many. And I'm talking about Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights. I didn't like Catherine either. I mean, I didn't like the whole book and the whole story. I think it's way overrated. I don't understand how someone can like this character because it's pure evil. And forget about, the man that sent you away, the man that didn't want you to marry Catherine. Okay, you can seek vengeance with him, but why, being so evil towards your own son, who had nothing to do with your ordeal you had to go through when you were young? I just don't get it. I really, really didn't enjoy any part of this book. I thought it was very heavy, and all this grudge was for nothing because, where did it take you? Definitely not a character I liked in a book, and it just came right away in my mind. I know, very unpopular opinion, but I own it. I want to own it. I just don't get it. Let's move to the fourth prompt. Santa Claus is coming to town. A book releasing soon. You can't wait to read. Okay. There is a book. It's not releasing soon. I have no idea when Madeline Miller is going to release this so much talked about Persephone. She's been writing for years. Okay, Madeline, we're waiting for you. I can't wait for this next book because I adore her. So I had to pick another book, and it's going to be Valérie Perrin-Tata. She's a French author, and she's most known for Fresh Water for Flowers, and she's very, very popular in Italy and all Europe. And this next book, it's actually kind of like a family mystery. I'm going to share a translation from what I found on Goodreads because the book is going to be released in French and Italian for now. So we are in 2010 and the protagonist Agnes is called by the police. Her aunt Colette just died. But that's impossible because Colette has been dead for 3 years. So Agnes thinks this is a mistake. And so she returns to a small town in Burgundy, oh my God, that she deserted a long time ago to recognize the body of this stranger who left her last wishes and audio cassettes for her. So who is she? And it's really Colette who had just died, who is resting in her place in the cemetery. Okay, so I think this lady has a thing for cemeteries because if you remember Fresh Water for Flowers, it was set in a cemetery too. But I like the mystery. I think it's a twist and I hope it's more of a mystery than a family story, a tragic family story. It's kind of intriguing, right? So, and I'm sure it's going to be translated in English very soon as her other novels have been. So we move to the fifth prompt, 12 Days of Christmas, a book of short stories. Okay, confession. I don't like short stories because I don't have time to get connected or become fond of the characters. And the minute I get to know them, the story is done. It's over. So I am left like, oh, I want more. So I don't read a lot of short stories. I decided to pick a book that I would like to read, and it's just because it's from one of my favorite Italian authors from the 20th century, Italo Calvino. He was always very versatile as a writer, but this turns to be sort of a sci-fi for the time, actually, you would think. He wrote this book in 1969, so I guess he was probably inspired by man going to the moon, who knows. But here's what Goodreads says about this book. Italo Calvino's extraordinary imagination and intelligence combine here in an enchanting series of stories about the evolution of the universe. He makes his characters out of mathematical formulae and simple cellular structures. They disport themselves among galaxies, experience the solidification of planets, move from aquatic to terrestrial existence, and play games with hydrogen atoms, and even have a love life. Of course, they had to, otherwise it wouldn't be him. During the course of these stories, Calvino toys with continuous creation, the transformation of matter, and the expanding and contracting reaches of space and time. He succeeds in relating complex scientific concepts to the ordinary reaction of common humanity. And you will be sure to find humanity in this book, and that's why I'm so drawn and interested in reading. So I will let you know. Definitely it's going to be a book I'm going to include in my 2025 TBR. I'm not sure which month, but it's going to happen. I promise to myself. Let's move to the sixth prompt, A Little Drummer Boy, a book that brings back childhood memories. So it has to be Anne of Green Gables of Lucy Maud Montgomery. Not just much the book, but the TV cartoon I used to watch with my mom. It was such a special moment for me. We used to watch this like at 5 in the afternoon and after homeworks. She loved it too, so we really were so consumed with Anne's despairs and moments of joy. And it also special because the song, the Italian song that they created for the TV show, was very much loved by my sister. My sister is the reason I'm back in Italy, and she's a woman with special needs. And when we were kids and we were watching the show, she wasn't watching, but she would hear the music and she would smile and be very happy. And even now when I sing the song, because I know it still by heart, she smiles and probably remembers. So Anne of Green Gables definitely has a very special place in my heart. The seventh prompt, Deck the Halls, a book that has a party scene or takes place over a holiday. So this particular short novel, I'm only 2 short novels today, is set in Ireland on the 24th of December. And the protagonist is a man who is a coal merchant who is rushing, making all last deliveries before the Christmas Eve Mass and the dinner, and he has to rush to buy a gift for his wife as well. His last delivery is into a convent where, in a glimpse of an eye, he catches something he shouldn't have seen. And then, as he leaves and he's running his other errands, his mind goes back to the scene he saw, which, parenthesis, is related to the Magdalene Asylum. So, big hint to this problem. But of course, the book doesn't really openly speak about this because, remember, it's a short novel. So we just go through the emotions of our character, Bill, that is facing this dilemma, should I just go along with being happy, stay with my family, enjoy my life, or report to the police what I saw? So I think Claire Keegan here really spoke without speaking, and it's a very intriguing book, a very beautiful story about doing the right thing, set in a very snowy environment as well. And guess what? They made a movie out of this short novel, produced by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, so it's going to be a success. The protagonist will be Cillian Murphy, also starring Eileen Walsh and Emily Watson. So Google up where to see. I think it's not going to be released in theaters, but only in these platforms. So check it out. I am so curious to see it. And also that got me also thinking about these Magdalene asylums, and I want to read more books about it. I think the Magdalene Sisters was a movie, but it wasn't actually made out of a book. So I want to read more stories and dive more into that topic. We're already at the 8th prompt. Frosty The Snowman, a book with a character who is cold and calculating. So I had to go back to classics for this one, and two come to mind. Not really cold and calculating in a way they act cold and calculating, at least the first one, which is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. So a man that was ripped of all his riches and sent to prison, he comes back for vengeance. It's very adventurous and such a classic, right? The other character I was thinking is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And that's a character that, yes, you can think that's a very calculating and cold and quite a spooky book as well. So we decided, actually, Reney's idea, to do an optional bonus prompt and asking you, do you have a fun memory or interesting holiday tradition that you would like to share? It does not have to be about Christmas. It can be about any holiday you choose. So I am going to share something about Christmas, although it's a season I'm not anymore fond of, because it makes me think of loved ones that are no longer here. And usually I just spend it with my sister, and we just have a regular lunch like it would be any other day, and then we set off for a drive. But Christmas makes me think about my favorite aunt. That was my mother's sister. And as a child, I spent many Christmases with her and my grandmother. And I remember we used to, she was living in a hillside little village, and we used to go to the woods and looking for moss so we can build a nativity. And I also love the moments where we would go to the church, to Mass for Christmas, and there was this priest who was talking a very funny way. So I was the child, and I was sort of not mocking him, but sort of like talking or looking at my aunt and trying to not to laugh because of the way this priest was talking, and I would have her giggle as well, and she was just like, stop it. And so all these memories also when I was spending Christmas at home with my parents, and I was looking forward for her to visit the next day, not just for the gifts. That's actually, she was like a ray of sunshine for me, because she was 10 years younger than my mom, so I maybe could relate a little more to her. In fact, she was the one I would confess my crushes, like, I like that boy. And I was just too shy to tell my mom. I don't know why, but I guess that my aunt, then she would pass along the information. I didn't think about it, but yeah, I was very fond of her. Unfortunately, my mom and my aunt died both when they were 51. So that was quite tragic. I would have loved to spend Christmases with them as an adult myself, but what can you do? Such is life. So I hope they are somewhere very, very special, doing something they love in their next life or whatever, whenever that will happen. So this is it. And of course, we want you to share the cheer, share the tag. I'm going to tag a few booktubers down on the info box, and if you'd like to respond to some of these prompts and you don't have a channel, go ahead, leave me a comment, and make sure you also watch Reney's video. I'm leaving a link in the info box as well. I thank you so much for watching this video with me today, and thank you, Reney. This was really fun. I look forward to our January buddy read. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for watching again, and thank you for supporting your channel. You can like, comment, and subscribe. Happy holidays, and I'll see you back here on Friday. I think I'm just going to do a book chat on things I'm reading in November, and read or to be read. Take care, friends. Happy reading.